Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Tuesday, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Tuesday, guys. So, I got the download that was so profound that I had to jump on to share. I tried to post it on the community page because I'm really busy today. So I tried to post it on the community page. I got halfway through the message and had to delete it and jump on and make this recording because it has to leave my spirit because I can't do anything else. I've tried, can't do anything else, so I gotta get it out. Okay, so God is looking for portals, literally individuals that he can trust, all caps, trust, right? Because everybody's running around here screaming they're trustworthy and they're loyal, etc., etc. But we know that's not to be the case, right? So I'm speaking about individuals who God can trust, and God knows he can trust them. Some of you guys got this on lock, a very, very small percentage of people. You guys got this on lock. You're already servers, you're already givers, you're already selfless individuals, right? You got this on lock. So this is really not for you, with the exception of be very, very aware and be very, very alert, because what's going to happen is the enemy is going to use things that just rise up and pop up. These can look like unexpected things, right? Unexpected things that he's going to use as a target to try to get you off course, where the things that God is telling you to work on and God is telling you to prepare or stock up things, whatever God is telling you to do, the enemy will send a distraction, something that it looks like, wow, now I have to pull from here, which is really something that God has you working on to handle this. But God will convict you. Just be very, very careful right there, right? Because the enemy is very strategic. But to those of you who have asked God to be a blessing to others, right? And this doesn't have to look like finances, but whatever, right? You've asked God to be a blessing to others. So you've asked God to bless you so you can bless others, right? This is something I asked God for about 15 years ago. But he knew I meant it. He knew I meant it, right? God wants to bless people who are going to be a blessing to others. He needs that, right? Satan, you can beep, you can not twerk. You can do what you want to do, sir, but this word is going to get out. You've been fighting me for the last hour about this word, but it's going to get out. You're rebuked right now, period. Okay, guys, sorry. So, okay, here's what's happening, right? You have to be under a rock if you don't know, but there's a shift going on. And in fact, the shift has been going on since the pandemic, right? But with so much distraction in the world, and they're throwing all this nonsense in your face, the Meg and Tories in court, and this and that, and the majority of the world is so distracted. Their Apple's coming out with some new freaking glass. Like the world is so distracted, and these evil forces are moving right under our feet. One in particular, I'm not even gonna call his name, but everybody knows who he is, right? The dude, you can look at the dude and tell, the dude is a straight devil, seriously. One of the richest men in the world, but a straight devil. It's all in his, the man is evil. It's literally present in his face, if you're tapped in. Anyway, the people who are frontline for God, right? These can look like your pastors. These can look like major YouTube, and I'm not talking about these YouTube gurus giving relationship advice and all that nonsense. I'm talking about like people who are truly living for God, who are truly like pouring into people in a spiritual light, who are really frontlining this thing, right? I mean, front line in this thing. they're going to be hit. They're already being hit with spiritual attacks, right? If you're frontline, you've probably been being hit with major spiritual attacks for some time right now, just almost back to back. But what's going to happen is, with the way that things are going in the world right now, right? We're in our last days. Say what you want to say. We're in our last days. Things are going to start shifting. Things are going to start closing down, right? Things are going to start disappearing. So the enemy is not going to only just keep attacking them spiritually. He's going to hit them in major financial ways. So it doesn't matter what they have now, right? He's going to start attacking their financial foundations, because I mean, come on. Now you got to worry about if your family going to eat. You got to worry about your kids going to college. You got to worry about your bills going to get paid. And most times they're taking care of more than one household anyway, right? They're responsible half the time for a whole church. So the enemy is going to start hitting them hard in the financial areas in hopes to shut them up, right? They're front line. We're not. Well, I'm not. I'm just a vessel, right? But God is watching people closely now. He's testing people closely now who he can get wealth transfers to for kingdom purposes, not for ignorance, for kingdom purposes. And this can branch off. I can give 100 ways right now in the sense of how you can help people for kingdom missions, kingdom work, right? Destiny helpers, right? These are really the people who are doing like the groundwork, right? Like the groundwork. But then God is going to select people who are not, you're not particularly doing the groundwork, if you will, but you're going to be stationed to give them whatever they need, as far as like the financial backing of things. So they can just focus on the spiritual attacks and focus on, the enemy trying to knock them off of their post in the sense of, pouring into people, et cetera, where they don't have to too much worry about the financial end of things, right? But God is going to start if God is testing you in small ways right now, like he's telling you don't make that credit card purchase, and like you can feel the conviction, like you better not make it. You type in that card number and then boom, conviction, right? And you still make it, right? Don't ignore those small things. Or he's telling you to pick that penny up off the ground and you're like, nobody don't even have pennies no more. Like he's watching you. Or it might be something that you want to do and you feel like because nobody's looking, or you really don't have to do it, but it's really testing your integrity, right? You can get away with not doing it, but God is really, really like convicting you when it comes down to integrity and character, to see if you're going to be obedient to how he's telling you to move, regardless if you want to do it or not. Or in my case, having to give away, some money that I could have bought a bag on, but instead allow a family who's going through a very difficult time, who was praying, not even knowing that, but allow them to see how God moves at the last minute and how God moves in supernatural ways, just so they can see the light of God, so then they can press in even more. Whatever God is asking you to do right now, if you got to cancel that trip because he's asking you to do something for whatever reason, you're being watched. You're being watched. In kingdom, wealth transfers is a real thing. Let me just tell you. If you walk around on a daily basis, obviously you do. I'm assuming you do. And you're tapped in, like really tapped in. You can see the look on their faces. They're panicking. They're afraid. They know their time is up. They know their time is up. They've been doing evil for a very long time now. They've been suppressing things for a very long time now. And God is shaking and moving and uprooting things, and they're afraid. So when you see all this anger and all this rage and all this hate, it really is about them being afraid because they know their time is up. But God just can't trust anybody. You got to be in the mud. So for those of you who are crying about petty stuff, right? Not to discount your petty stuff, but I won't even say, I won't even go on. I won't even go there. But it's so petty compared to what God needs right now. Listen, I had to share that because it was so heavy. It came so profound as a download that if people really know what's going on, they will be happy to sacrifice. They will be happy to discipline themselves. They will be happy to get in a posture where God can use them, right? And again, this is going to be a very, very small percentage of people because you just got to move a certain way. And if you're not moving that way in your everyday life, God's just going to pass you by. I wanted to share that. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.